Father fish, father fish. The one place to go to if you have thick, your fish may itch or even flash. So father fish is your one-stop cap. Cap it all with an inch of sand. Cap it all with an inch of sand. Raise the temperature with a helping hand. And add some garlic on top of that sand. The itch will go, your plants will grow, and all of your fish will have a happy home. Father fish, so father fish, your one-stop wonder if you keep fish. Starring Sir Father Fish and all his followers on the Father Fish channel. Over to you, Sir Father Fish.
Well, hello everybody. Here's Joey.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
We have Sunset Jen here.
Yeah.
Hi, Sunset Jen. Glassbox Fox. Hans Aquarium. Hans. I wonder where Hans is from. Where are you from, Hans? I know a Hans Aquarium in Maryland who sells discus. That wouldn't be you, would it, Hans?
Well, maybe.
Probably not, but one never knows. Abolished you. Cynthia. Hello, Cynthia. 377. Lady Aquatics. The Midnight Lobster. Betty Days. Rowan Chirac. Baits and Genetics. Willie Beck. Fish and Shrimp by Rich. Amy 5 Aquatics. Balduino Nabs. Balduino Nabs. Joshua Miller. And Mike D.
Oh, and
who else was it? Somebody else. James. Screen.
Yeah, Fishing's here. Fishing Tactics.
Fishing Tactics, right?
Crystal's
Falcon One. Roger Simon. I said Roger. Good. Well, here we are. Here we are, indeed.
And anyone else that we missed?
From Germany. Okay, you're from Germany. Is that where you are? You currently residing in Germany? I asked the wrong question, didn't I? Are you in Germany? I should say, not from Germany.
Yeah, is this going to be 20 questions? It's going to take, keep asking.
What's my line?
It could keep the evening interesting, right?
DNA. Hello, DNA. Tushita, Heaven. James.
Broadcast Illusions.
Yeah, it is at work. One wanderer.
Yes. And I know we're both repeating D&M Remix.
Yeah, let me, go ahead and do.
We'll do some wrenches tonight, maybe? And then Roman says he'll be up in a few minutes.
Yeah, let me get over.
Okay. Hi, Brianne.
The channel.
Yeah, Roman said he'd come up in a few minutes. And we'll do a few wrenches. And then there was one quick question we can do, if I can get back to it.
Okay.
So there was EAD and
Lady Aquatics.
Yeah, and Broadcast Illusions, I think, was one. Yeah, James, Broadcast Illusions. Wrenches, high staff.
I was looking at questions.
Oh, I thought you were passing out wrenches. Sorry. You said you were getting over there. I'm like, okay, we'll pass out wrenches.
All right, I'll pass out wrenches.
Okay. There's just like 2 or 3 you can pass out quickly, and then we can go to questions. And
on broadcast. Yeah, on broadcast. That's it. Anybody else? Nobody.
Yeah, there was. I'm scrolling up and down. So, yeah, Janus, did you see that at 6:05?
Yeah, I got those.
Okay, and then there was Joshua. I saw Joshua at 5:52.
I did not get Joshua.
Okay, and then I think we're good there, and we can jump into some questions until somebody else shows up.
Joshua already has a wrench.
No, there's like 3 Joshuas in here. So Joshua LaRusso, 5:52.
Got it.
Okay.
LaRusso.
We've got Joshua L. There's a lot of people in here today. So, okay. All right. So if you want to jump into that question, then I'll find the other question. You saw Lady Aquatics had a question.
I know I haven't found it. I lost it.
Well, she said, okay, I've got it. She said, any ideas on how to get all your shrimp out of your tank? How to catch shrimp? I need to change my substrate because I did not cap the dirt. I put it in well and keep getting bioblooms. Okay, so she wants to catch her shrimp and recap her dirt. Suggestions on catching shrimp.
Yeah, let's back up.
Okay.
Let's back up. I want to change your substrate because I did not cap the dirt. Okay, so what you want to do is cap the dirt. You don't need to take your shrimp out to do that. In fact, you don't need to take anything out to do that. Just pour the sand in slowly, dry. You can do it wet if you want, but put it in dry. Make sure it's rinsed. Well, that's going to be hard to have it rinsed and dry. You will need to rinse it. And then you have to let it wet, but that'll be all right. Same difference. Put the sand in through the water column. Just rinse the sand so it doesn't leave a lot of dust to make the water cloudy. If it's good quality sand already pre-washed, like most pool filter sand, you can just pour it directly in. It'll be slightly dusty, but not enough to matter. Do it slowly and gently, and you'll be able to cap that dirt without any trouble at all. It will not stir it up significantly. You don't need to worry about the sand stirring it up. Just keep putting the sand in until you've got 2 inches above the dirt. Now, if you don't want to do that all at once, you can do it a half an inch at a time, every 3 or 4 days, even once a week. If you really want to take everything out and redo it, you're certainly welcome to do that. And you want to be able to catch all the shrimp. To do that, you need a large net. Now, the problem with catching shrimp in a dirt tank is that it's going to be really tough because shrimp go down under the dirt to get away, to hide. So you're going to have a jolly old time doing this. I would suggest you don't even try. Just start pouring sand into the tank. Let the sand settle, let it go down. It'll disrupt the dirt a little bit, put more sand in. It'll capture it all in fairly short order. And you'll be able to get your 2 inches of sand on top of the dirt. And the shrimp ain't dumb. They know to get up on top. They're not going to get buried. Don't worry about that. Shrimp are really good at being able to get in and out of the sand or of the dirt, whatever, the substrate. That's normal behavior for them. They typically hide in the dirt. So they'll be able to get out without any trouble at all. Just don't bury them under 3 inches. Don't bury them under 2 inches for that matter. But you're not going to, because they're gonna stay above it. It's not gonna hurt them. It's not gonna bother them at all. They'll be fine. Not to worry.
So,
do you put their food in the same spot each time?
And that's
Right.
a good little suggestion. Yep, from Brianne. Feeding in the same spot, making it easier to catch.
Upper shrimp.
Ponds.
Well, to be able to catch them, yeah.
Right.
If you really need to catch them, the way to catch them is to get the biggest net you can find, preferably one the same size as the tank, a big net that you can roll across the bottom and be able to be able to capture everything. We have a guest in the waiting room.
Okay, I just want to tell you one thing. Hans says he's living in the hometown of your German grandmother.
In Berlin, really? Wow. How neat is that?
Yeah. So anyway, we have our guest.
What was her maiden name? Her maiden name. I think her maiden name was Hutchenrotter. I think. I'll have to look into that. My cousin will know. Well, we have Roman in the waiting room here. Let's bring him up. There he is. Hi, Roman.
Hey, guys. Nice to see you, Father Fish and Joey.
Hi,
Thank you. Nice to see you.
I'm not used to this. So do I hit cam to switch cameras?
Yeah, you hit the mic button, and I think you should be able to have a choice to flip the camera. Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Oh, that was cam. It says no cam, no. So cam mic.
If you hit the cam mic, there should be, or just the cam, try the cam button, and then there should be another button so you can flip the screen. Try.
Yeah, I was looking. Last time when I was up on New Year's Eve, I saw that.
Yeah, you did it New Year's Eve. Yeah, there should. If you hit the cam button, there should be a choice to flip it.
Oh yeah, I got it now. So which?
Okay.
Facing front, facing back. Okay, so how's that? Oh yeah, here we go.
Perfect.
So,
good job.
So, what I wanted to show you was something interesting. I remember that aquarium, this aquarium here that had the big flower in it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So those flowers wilted a long time ago.
Sure.
And all the leaves on the plant here, there was huge leaves, lily pads on the surface there before the flowers came out. So my suspicion is that the plant was taking on nutrients through photosynthesis through the lily pads before it sent up those flowers. And since the flowers have finished and died off, all those lily pads now are starting to break down and rot. And
I see new leaves at the base.
yes, there's some new leaves coming up there. There's 2 or 3 different lily pads there. One of them has a very pointy leaf, right in there, very pointy leaf.
Yeah.
And this one here is not so pointed. This other plant.
Pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, anyways, this week I was preparing this.
Look at its rainbows. Aren't they gorgeous?
Pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, they like to sit in that current right there. Because I've got a little bit of current going for them. And so what happened was this tank was completely covered with the dwarf lettuce plants.
Yes.
I'd neglected the tank for a bit. I was doing other things. And the entire surface was covered, and you couldn't see down. It was so dark below, I couldn't see the other plants. So this week, I took them up. I got a whole half a bucket here full of the plants. They've been outside, and they're frozen solid right now. But that's and the roots were about 12 inches long, going right down. Hanging down to about down here somewhere in the aquarium. So the fish didn't have much room to swim about either. But so they're much happier now.
The tank looks very nice.
It does.
Yes, I was fortunate to have that piece.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So what else would I like to show? Oh, I had a list of stuff to show you here. It's what else do I have? Oh yeah, so this here,
Typical German. He made a
is-
list.
yeah, I made a list, sure.
Well, that's a good idea.
Here,
Really?
this here is my rebuttal to beta sorority tanks.
Oh, cool. I love it.
Let's
Right.
These are all males out of the buckets that grew up through the summertime.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've collected a few of them and put them in here just to, I have them for whenever I need to start a new aquarium or something. These guys are my starting.
That's a great fish.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I noticed was I had this thermometer stuck in the sand a little bit just to hold it up and keep it nice and vertical. And I noticed the temperature looked about 3 degrees cooler than what it had been when it was hanging up here at the top.
Huh.
So I stuck my finger down in the sand, and it's much cooler down in the sand than it is up here at the top of the water column.
Isn't that interesting?
I thought that was very interesting. I suppose because the water flow is so slow through the sand that it doesn't have time to really get warmed up from the heater.
I guess.
So it was giving me erroneous readings. Fortunately, I thought to put the thermometer back up here where it is, and that way I'm getting, the correct water temperature.
Cool.
Good.
What else do I have? Oh yeah.
That tank is typical for guppy breeders. All guppy breeders put all their males in one tank.
Well, it saves a lot of
A reverse sorority, as you say.
Yeah. So on this tank, I told you about it New Year's Eve. Over in this area here, all the plants had died out, and I was suspecting that the Amazon sword there in the middle had absorbed all the nutrients. And since then, I'd been putting pieces of lily pad food for the outdoor ponds right down into the substrate, right down to the glass, and then
Okay.
covered it over with the sand again. And now this I don't know if it's Val or is it Sag, the tall plants.
Nice. Yeah, the valve.
Coming
Look
along nicely, and they're growing all along the surface there. I don't know how visible you can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think they're absorbing the nutrients from those tabs.
I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take you to the kitchen, guys. I'm just gonna block the camera just so that I don't make you dizzy. In the kitchen here is my Eustoria Experiment.
Oh my.
So those 4 jars, the 2 on the left here, are water from aquariums when I was cleaning them out. And I squeezed out some sponge filter into them. And the 2 on the right are from water in a barrel that I have outdoors. And then I put various, what do they call it? I guess vegetable matter. This is hay, dried hay for horse food.
Huh.
And these here are some old beans that I had on my vines out in the garden. And you can see they've all started to fungus up now, and they're starting to reek pretty good.
Yeah.
I know if my wife was alive, I wouldn't be allowed to do this in the kitchen.
I was going to make a comment about that.
Yeah.
It looks like a bachelor's do.
Yeah. We're allowed, So I think what I need to do is get myself a microscope so I can see what the heck's floating around in the water.
Absolutely.
So are you trying to see which combination grows the most?
I just see what happens. I think some of them, I was wondering if the ones from the barrel outdoors might have even some, what's the one that's bigger than Infusoria? I can't remember the name.
Daphne.
Yeah, Daphnia. They might have Daphnia. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
And it's possible the Daphne are sitting down on the bottom of right now at the bottom of the barrel. I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Pretty neat.
And this here is the first aquarium that got me going about 1.5 years ago. This is in the kitchen.
Huh.
And I got about 30 chili rasboras in there.
Oh, how pretty.
It's too bad the camera doesn't really capture their color.
Yeah, they are pretty. I just
And-
sold a batch of green neons today.
Oh,
It's
nice.
another, yeah, they're tiny little things, and they're really pretty, and about the hardiest neon I've ever had, about that size.
Wow.
So those rock piles are for the shrimp I have in there. I've got some blue dream shrimp,
Oh,
and they hide out there from the fish.
Mhm.
no.
I think that's
Yeah.
about all. That's all I had on my list for today. I don't mind to hang out with you guys and chat if you a little bit if you want, and answer some questions for people.
Sure.
So I'm laughing, Roman, because one question was they were wondering if the jars smell.
Oh yeah, they
I
stink
bet
like
they do.
crazy. Yeah.
Right.
Only fish people can deal with this sort of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
only a bachelor could get away with it. Actually. That's got to stop. I don't.
But let's face it, in general, having worms growing in your house and different things,
Yeah.
Really.
normal people don't do that.
Not normal people, no.
No. Father Fish, do you want to answer a question, or do you want to just talk with Roman for a while?
Well, we can do both.
Okay.
ER
Yes,
ER
that's a question. Yeah.
ER says, I get it. I'm a bachelor. My ex-wife wouldn't let me do anything in this hobby.
Oh,
Yeah.
but ER also has a question for you, Father Fish. Says, I scored a few Darios today. What the heck do I feed them? Bloodworms seem too big, and baby brine seem too small. What do you suggest?
What are the fish? I missed it.
Dario?
Danio?
Well, he says Dario.
Yeah, there are Darios. They're very small fish.
That's a different fish. Yeah.
With a well, oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would feed the baby brine. They'll be able to take worm. You can, with the bloodworms or blackworms, you can chop them up with a razor blade and feed them. That way they get little pieces.
Yeah.
But brine shrimp as well. And any of those, either of those frozen, will be fine.
Okay.
What's your experience there, Herman?
I don't have those small fishes, but I have been the reason I'm growing those Daphne or the Infusoria right now is because I want to breed a couple of epistogrammas. I bought some epistogrammas last week, orange flash, and also bought some crebensis this week. I bought 6 young ones, and I've put them in a 20 long, and we'll see how they get by. They're in this aquarium. I'm going to turn you around again.
Okay.
So they're down in this aquarium down here.
Yeah.
There's one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's more in the corner, but they're still very young. They're small guys.
Nice. I did a video today with a group of them in the background. The Dario, the scarlet batis, will take blackworm. I feed blackworm to mine. I always have scarlet batis around. Nice fish.
So
you end up with males too, or just the males?
Pardon?
Do you end up having females with them, or do you only end up getting male?
I've sold 3 pair out of the batch.
Oh, nice.
I
So you did get some females. Okay.
did get females, yeah.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, say that
Get
they just
males,
never
I know.
they never
Yeah.
seem to get females. So that's cool.
Yeah. I did this time.
Nice.
Pretty.
These
And it, it's hard to tell.
The green neon looks just like that. With my
those
red.
Like
are
that.
blue. Those are neons. Look at these fish here. When they start to jump, like to come to feed, they just dart up like crazy.
Oh yeah.
Those are the phoenix tetras. Some of them.
Yeah.
But when they start to feed, they just like rockets.
Yeah. Nice tank of fish.
Yeah. Plants look really beautiful.
You've got Aponogetans, I guess, don't you?
Yeah, there's a Panageton there, and this is a big is it bulbitis or something? I think.
Yep. Bulbitis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a big one. It's grown nicely, and you can actually see some of the roots over the rock down here.
Yeah.
Right down at the very bottom is that little line. That's actually root from the bulbitis grabbing the rock.
Little panda Cory.
Of course. The bulbitis is very slow growing, correct?
Yeah, I've had this one for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Not a year, actually, a year and a half, something. And it's taken a while to get this big, but it's well worth the wait.
Oh, I know. They're beautiful, but I know they do take a long time to get really established in a tank.
Yeah, I'm going to bow out of here and say thank you very much for the invitation, Father Fish.
Delighted to see your tank shut, Roman. Thank you so much for coming up.
Wonderful, Roman. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Huh.
Tanks look really good.
They do, don't they? Really pretty.
Yeah. So, if someone else wanted to come up and show tanks, would that be okay, or do you just want to do the?
Yeah, absolutely. No, anybody who would like to come up and show the tanks.
Okay, so maybe we'll drop the link, and then we'll just keep going here.
You bet.
I say we'll drop the link. That means you, since you're in charge of this.
Done and done. Right. Fix Boss said he bought a pocket microscope on Amazon for 16 pounds. That's at about $30 US. That's a pretty good deal. You can get a really good microscope, a high quality microscope, for under $200. So they're really good ones are available pretty inexpensively. I know 40, 50 years ago, I bought my first microscope, and I think at that point I paid $300 for it. A much better scope today is almost half that. So it's kind of remarkable. Some things have gone down, and I assume it has to do with the way the lenses are made, because they all had to be hand polished back when. And today I'm sure they're all machine milled. And they're probably plastic. They're probably not even glass. They're probably plastic.
Were they were they always glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
The very first ones were, sure. They were hand polished too. So it was.
That I understand. Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, they probably just whip them out with machines now, so it brings the cost down.
Sure, yeah, right.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
So the most expensive part is going to be probably the cheapest part today.
Right.
Kind of remarkable.
Hi, Haley, Ball Aquatics.
Hello, Daniel.
Yes.
Glass slide and glass. The top part is called a slip, ER. The glass side and the glass slip.
So Sunset, oh, Jen has a question at 6:30. I'm reading it because it's, okay. I'm reading it to myself, so it's making sense. I mean, do you see it, Sunset Jen?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. To discuss fish's ability to consciously or willfully, if you like, lower and rise in their tanks, particular bettas. I read that in the spheric effect on swim bladder, but ours also releases bubbles going down. Two things. The bladder, the air bladder in the fish is located just under the spine. So it's basically on the back of the fish. And it's fairly long and narrow. It has a very tiny, almost for little fish, it would be microscopic tube that goes to, where does it go to? It goes, I don't know where it goes to. It goes to, it's got to go to the esophagus, I guess. Um, it, um, it, when the fish wants to go up, it takes in more air. When it wants to go down, it releases air. We have a guest in our waiting room, Joey.
Joey?
Emma, the fish box.
I was saying, who might that be?
Emma, and she's not. What is going on here?
And well, I see her name. I just don't see her.
Yeah, I don't either.
So James, a good idea. Oh, hi, Emma.
Yeah, Emma, turn your volume off on your computer.
Nice.
Turn the volume off on YouTube. I love what she turned off. Turned everything off. Come on back, Emma. Come on back, Emma. We'll get it. Funny. She's not there. She dropped off. She had her volume on her.
I think I'm going to drop down and come back.
All right. Emma had her volume
Somehow
on.
Things have gotten messed up.
All right, let me post the link for you.
I'm going to drop down.
Okay. There's Emma.
Hiya. Is that better
There
now?
you are. Oh, you made it. That's perfect. Good. We'll get Joey back in a second. She had to drop off. Well, we've noticed there she is.
Oh, God.
There's Emma. Hi, Emma. Nice to see you.
How are you?
Hiya. I'm good, thank you.
Good.
How do I turn the camera around again?
So there's a camera button in the middle of that screen. On the bottom there'll be a camera button, and you press it, and it should give you a choice to flip the camera.
There you
Perfect.
go.
You did it.
Good job.
Oh, nice.
This is 180 litres, so around 47 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah, 50 gallon tank. Nice.
Very pretty. How long do you have this tank set up?
How are your plants doing?
The plants aren't too bad. I've got a little bit of yellowing. It's been set up for about 3 months, and there's some algae, but I've reduced the lighting and things, and got some algae eaters so it's getting better.
Nice.
Emma, you need to add about an inch of sand to that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think that would help a lot with the filtration also?
Yes, it'll also help with the
Yeah,
plants. Yeah, it'll help with
yeah.
everything.
Okay.
Looks
You
really
can
There's
do
nice.
it
some.
slowly. You can do it like half an inch at a time, but try to get 2 inches in there over a period of time.
Yeah. Okay. I do
It
have
looks
some brittle
nice.
nose in there as well, but
Yeah, it looks really good though. I like it.
It does. It's pretty.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
I've
it'll
texture.
got a few more.
control the yellowing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a few more as well. I'll just cover you up a second.
Where are you from, Emma?
I live in the UK near Liverpool.
Oh.
Liverpool. Okay.
Yeah. And then this one's about 10 gallons.
Okay.
It's just got some patties in it at the moment.
And plastic plants, right?
Yeah. I do have a little bit. They haven't been set up long, so.
Well, again, you need to add sand to that. If you will add sand to it, you'll be able to grow plants in that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then.
Your fish look very healthy and very happy.
Yeah,
They
they're
do?
doing better now. I did have to treat them for parasites, but other than that, they're okay.
Yeah, they look good. They look real good.
They do.
And that's just the infusoria I was trying to do. It's not ready
Okay.
yet, like.
Good
Oh,
for
that's
you.
great. Yeah.
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 Good way to do
And
it.
then
Excellent.
Yes.
in this one, I just have some ram's horns and some baby platies.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Your
Yeah.
baby food. Your nursery.
Right? Yeah, it's just a small one.
That's,
I did take some of the water out because I think they were struggling with the amount of water that was in there.
well, it could be. Could be. That's smart.
Yeah. And that's about it, really.
Well, everybody looks very happy.
They do.
Yeah.
Nice, Emma.
Look.
There she is. Good girl. Very nice.
Yeah.
So a little bit of sand, and you'll have a group of father fish aquariums.
Yeah.
You will.
I will do.
Good job.
All right. Thank you. I'll let you
Well,
go now.
thank you. Nice to have you come visit.
Coming in.
Too.
Nice to
Bye
meet
for
you.
now. Bye bye.
She's cute.
Yes. Very nice. Thank you, Emma. Very sweet. Where did she
I was
say-
watching. And I was watching and looking at her tank, so I wasn't looking for questions. Guilty.
Quite all right.
Wasn't
Quite,
looking for
I was
questions.
too. Me too.
There actually are a few questions, but Oddball Aquatics, and that's Haley. Father Fish, I have a question. I'm going to be running my new 150 with no filter. I normally do organic potting soil with a sand cap. Can I use a deeper sand to combat the digging of my monster fish?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly right. I do 6 to 8 inches minimum in my big tanks where I'm going to have large fish that are likely to dig. Now, there's some fish that simply are major earth movers, like the
Mhm.
Central American cichlids, the big guys, when they get into spawning mode. If you have a mountain in your tank, they're going to move the entire mountain. I
Mhm.
mean, they're hopeless. But go ahead and do it. Just make it as deep as you can tolerate. What I don't do for fish like that is I do not put a dirt substrate in because they just rip it up.
Agreed.
It's hopeless. Um, but in time, that that deep sand bed that you put in there will begin to develop a nutritional foundation, and will grow plants, and you'll be able to get a lot of really healthy plants growing in a tank that you might otherwise not even be able to grow plants in. So it's worth the effort. It takes a few years to get it to that level, but it'll happen.
Yeah. Um, I just want to touch on when we were talking about microscopes before Emma came up. James Green had mentioned, and this was a good idea. He said to get an inexpensive microscope, check out medical school listings on Craigslist near a med school, and that's a
Yeah,
good idea.
that's how I got my first one.
Right. So,
Uh,
and then
Otto Aquatics is saying he's worried about featherback knifefish who like to dig. They're not gonna they're not gonna disrupt the bottom. They will dig to hide, but they're not digging to move dirt around. There's a difference. The feather fin doesn't really disrupt the substrate so much as they hide in it. It's not like a big pair of Oscars that are just going to move the entire bed of substrate from one end of tank to the other. They're not like that. They don't really stir things up much at all. ER doesn't like us in this position. Who's on top in your house, ER?
um, Tori has a question. It's a basic question, but it's a good question. How many inches of substrate in a 20-gallon long? Your ratios for
Three.
substrate.
3. 1
So,
inch of dirt, 2 inches of sand.
yeah, and that's
So that's
his
3.
standard. 1 inch of dirt, 2 inches of sand. Um, and I'm scrolling. Looking.
Oh, ER said he's on top. Remember, I said it, but now we know why it's X, ER. You just,
Uh,
you just, you're just digging for trouble here. We, uh, we have we have another guest in the house.
oh, nice, nice.
It's Waterbarn Tropicals, who is in the
Hello.
dark. Have you got a light? You need to come into the light so we can see you.
Come into the light.
Come into the light, right? Follow the light.
Hello.
Here he is. Hello, hello.
How are you?
Nice to see you. Nice to have you with us. Your volume is turned off.
Your microphone's, yeah, you're muted. Hit your mic button and say hi.
I
Yeah.
think this is better.
There he is. There he is.
Hey,
Good.
hello, Father Fish.
Yes. Hello, hello. What's your name?
My name is Terrence,
Terrence.
and I'm from the Netherlands.
Oh, well, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I always comment about your beard.
Oh, well, thank you.
And now why?
Likewise, I'm sure.
I want to show you my tank.
Oh, please. Oh, my.
Nice.
Oh, he's got a gold ram and iridescent blue. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then a regular German blue ram on the bottom. Are they paired up?
Yeah, I think she got a hole in the head. This one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh. He looks okay.
Yeah, he is doing fine.
You think she has a hole in the head? She does look a little defeated.
Yeah, and that is my question to you. What can I do to help her a bit?
Why don't you take her out and put her in a smaller container by herself? Put a little bit of garlic in there for her to eat. Try to keep it very clean. And give her a chance to kind of calm down. She may be okay. Her fins are not clamped, and she's not showing any real obvious hollow belly. I need to enlarge my screen. Try to get rid up tight on her if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, go back to her. Go back to her and just get real close. I want to get a good look at her. I think she's, yeah, okay. I don't think she's sick. I think she's young. She's young. She's pre-adolescent. The male is dominating her. You need to separate her from him. Put her in a floating jar, something like that, to get her away from him so that he stops bullying her. I think that's all that's wrong.
I will put her apart. Thank you.
Yeah, I think she's just too young, and he wants to breed, and she's not ready, so she's kind of buffaloed. You know, he's putting too much pressure on her.
Yeah, it looks like yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Take her out, or him. You could take him out if you want. If you have another little tank to put one of them in, you know, him or her, I would take her out. Give her a chance to grow up a little.
Yeah, I will. I've got a couple of tanks here, so
Good, good.
thank you
Wonderful.
for the fish.
You're very welcome, Vern.
And
Nice.
God bless you.
I'm delighted to meet you. God bless you.
Me
Thank
too.
you, Terrence.
Bye.
Bye for now. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Father Fish.
Yes. ER's
Yes,
upset with
listen to me. No, Nomad Potato says they said that you wanted them to remind you about their organic food mix. So they do spinach, broccoli, radish, and garlic powder.
Oh, yes.
with
We're
a
in,
raw, yeah, with a raw egg.
Stop. Wait. Back up a bit. Okay, right. Nomad Potato.
Yeah, at 6:40.
Would you like to come up and talk about this, Nomad?
Oh, sure.
Are you able to do that? Yeah, he did a post earlier, or she, whatever. I was really impressed with it, talking about making fish food, and it just sounded like a really delightful formula.
So basically giving the recipe here and how to do it. But sure, if they want to come up and show it, awesome.
If you can do that, that's great. If you
But
can't,
if not, they've said how they do it,
okay.
which is awesome.
Okay, well, let's get into it then. Well,
I mix organic spinach, broccoli, radish, and garlic powder with raw egg and mash it. Then I dry it in an oven at 50 degrees, flake it, and giving it to my fish once a week. It sounds great.
I thought so too. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera. I'm also a little shy, but I'm glad you
okay.
remember our conversation a few hours ago. Absolutely. And
And
Nomad needs to get a wrench. You
absolutely.
were
And
you
thank
were
you
no
so much for sharing your recipe.
yeah. Let's go. Let me go over that again. Well, can you give me a timestamp for that?
Yep, it's at 6:46.
6:46. Let me go back. Oh, got it. Okay. I mix organic spinach, broccoli, radish, garlic powder with a raw egg. Mash it all together. Then I dry it in an oven. So you don't bake it, you dry it. That's interesting. Flake it and give it to my fish once a week. Delightful. Sounds absolutely perfect. One of the things that you can do with this kind of recipe is you can use baby food, little jars of baby food,
Mhm.
the different greens or vegetables or whatever. Also works really, really well. But that's neat. I like it.
Well, it is,
Very,
and everybody has great ideas, so it's nice to
yeah, you
see them. Thanks for
really
sharing.
good number potato. Thank you. That's terrific. I love it.
Brenda P has a question, and I think sounds great. It says not a question, it's a statement. You can trap shrimp by baiting in a jar with food and pull it out as they go in it. That's a really good idea. Trapping
Okay.
shrimp.
Just a matter of getting them to go in. And
Right.
if you can make a little cone with that, take a plastic bottle, cut the top off, invert it, jam it in there a little bit so when they go in, they cannot come out as easily.
Yep.
That makes her a nice trap.
Sounds great.
Excellent.
So no big
Yeah,
deal. Just
Kira is saying that the male ram is really pretty. It was a pretty orange.
Tori, Father Fish is in Florida. Asking what part of the country you are from, Father
Right.
Fish.
Emilio. Thank you, Emilio. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? And that's why I wanted to get a really good, close, tight look at that fish to see what was really going on with it.
Mhm.
I've done a lot of rams, so I'm familiar with rams and with their behavior and so forth. And it was real obvious looking at it that it was not sick at all. It didn't have a hollow belly. It did not have clamp fins. It was not chewed up. There were no obvious damage to the fish. But then when I watched it with the male, he was obviously bullying her.
Mhm.
He's a mature male, and she's an immature, probably a female. I would guess it's a female, although it may not be. It's still a little too young to really be able to tell. It could be a male. It could be a juvenile or pre-juvenile
Mhm.
male. In any case, separating the two is the solution to the other solution is to get more of them. Um, if you have a group of rams in a tank that size, that's a 50-gallon, a group of 4 to 6, they'll pair off and the odd man out will be able to escape from the attention. When you have one-on-one, that's when you have problems. If you have 3 or 4, then the aggression gets diffused somewhat. And the one that's under the most pressure can escape. Now, the exception to that is when you have a pair of rams that pair up and are spawning, and there's an odd man out. Whether it's a male or a female, it's going to be it's going to be threatened. They're going to push it away. The pair will push it away, and at that point, you really need to get it out of the tank if the tank's not big enough to accommodate that behavior. There is a range. Um, Typically, for big fish, it's 3 foot. For little fish, it's 1 foot. It's called a chase chase range, not range. It's not the right word. A
I think
chase territory, whatever. Beyond that, they won't chase. If a fish is guarding a nest, it will chase out to a point. There's kind of an invisible barrier around that nest, and they won't go past that typically to chase something away, unless there's a particularly aggressive fish in the tank that's just really trying to force its way in. And then the male may very well just chase it all over the tank to try to get it away altogether.
Father Fish.
Yeah.
Could we do another wrench? T-Bone has requested that we give one to Jen C because she has been here more than once at 6:54.
Absolutely.
Well, that's 6:56 also, but
Gen C is now blue.
thank you.
Who else? Cox Ray. And what is this funny little sign?
I don't know. I was
I
wondering
can't
that
tell.
myself.
It looks something slightly Arabic or
Maybe.
something. I can't tell. Not yeah. Nomad Potato says no baking. Yes, I don't want to lose nutritional value. Good point there. Gen C just wrenched. There's Gen C's got a wrench already.
Yes, I
Is that
see
what
she
you
has.
here?
And David Enser would like to know how much sand to add to an already running tank that has 3 inches of Eco Complete and fluoride.
2 inches of sand. A minimum 1 inch, preferably 2.
Hey, where's the sand bell? We have been forgetting the sand bell, haven't we?
Really?
2 inches of sand.
Add some sand.
Add some sand.
Andy wants sauce with his roast beef. Amelia, no other YouTuber I know are doing what you do. I love your channel. Well, thank you, Amelia.
Hello, Tam. Good evening.
It's because we're around all the time, and we got to do something to fill up the time. So we try to be useful and helpful. That's all. Yeah, I went back and I looked at a video from last April 19th when I was on by myself.
Yeah.
And it was curious that one came up because that was the video that got me in all the trouble last spring, where I had
I didn't know you were in trouble.
Yeah, I had a couple of muds run away from my channel. They just ditched me immediately. Okay. And I listened to that, and I was a little over the top, actually.
No, not you.
I really was. Imagine that. You know, it's hard for me to believe, but and the other thing is, I didn't like the video at all. It was like 50% absolute silence.
Well, and you can always get rid of it.
Pardon?
I said you can always get rid of it if you don't like it.
Well, I could, but it's history. I don't believe in changing history.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I interrupted you. You didn't like it. 50% what?
What I did like was what we've come to, because we put together now something that is entertaining, it's interesting, it's engaging, it moves right along, and it's fun. And I'm enjoying it. I know you're enjoying it. And I think most everybody who's hanging out with us is enjoying it.
I think so. So, you know what? You're not going to like this.
Know what? All right,
I'm
do it.
bringing back that question from yesterday because I remember now. I saw it earlier in the chat.
Okay.
The question from yesterday about the Cory cats with the poop attached.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh,
right.
yeah, that question. Yeah.
Go for it.
You want me to handle this one? Okay. I guess if it were me and I was in that situation looking at that, and if you're getting it repeatedly, not just a one-time occurrence, but if you see it happening more often than not, I'm going to go with internal parasites, and you need to feed them a medicated food. That would be where I would go with it. That might not be where you would go with it.
Well, I think you need to stop feeding dry food.
Well, there might be that.
Might be.
But we don't really know what they're feeding. So that's, we just got that the poop was attached. So I'm going with that question. That's why I gave the answer right. But we don't know what they're being fed. So if they want to, if you're still here and they want to throw something else in there, they can.
I
And we
don't
can
know.
talk about it a little bit more. I don't know.
I think you need to stop feeding flake food. Give them something. You need to lubricate them a bit. Try garlic.
Try garlic. How did I know it was going to come back to garlic? It'll keep the vampires away, if nothing else, So, all right, I was ranting on my thing. And do we have any other questions? See, no mad potato. Garlic is very good for fighting internal parasites. So we're basically, yeah.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! But we're all on parasites. I think we're all maybe in agreement that might be.
All right, here we go. 657. Tori Urbanbeck. Tori said, agreed, Emilio Emilius. I just found this channel, and it's exactly what I've been looking for, but it's hard to find now.
Yeah, so how do we fix that?
Why precisely is it hard to find? I do not disagree at all. I know, in fact, it's hard to find because I know how few people in the fish fam know we exist. And I've been around for a year and a half. And I've been doing this for a year. And yet only about 1% of the fish fam knows I'm here, knows we're here. So what do we do about that?
Well, how did you find the channel would be my question. How did you find Father Fish?
Good question.
Did you Google it? Did you search on YouTube? If you wouldn't mind sharing with us, how did you find Father Fish?
Right, Tori, go for it. How'd you get?
Love to know.
Hard to find. So what did it take to find us?
Right.
Is garlic powder free for fish? I would not use garlic powders, Xanadu. I would use crushed garlic cloves. I would also not use garlic preserved in oil or anything else for that matter. Fresh whole garlic, crushed and fed in tiny portions, not big clumps. Tiny portions, tiny enough that they can eat them all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see if we got an answer here.
I'm scrolling down to see if we have.
Joshua is saying everybody give it a like. I think there's something else that needs to happen. I think all of the people who are excited about this channel, interested in it, and want to support it, need to do two things. Really, it's one thing done two different ways. You need to share it. You need to click the share button and post it to whatever other platform you're on, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is. Paste, share it. Share it that way. And then the other way to share it, when you go into another Fish Fam channel that you like, mention Father Fish. Mention the channel. And if they will allow it, post the link. I think all of these people who we've given wrenches to need to be ambassadors. And we need to reach out and really make a serious effort to reach uh, more of the fish fam. The algorithm will not allow us to do that. I am just like everybody else who's under 100,000 subscribers. We are all shadow banned. We are all incapable of getting outside the limits of our subscriber base, and we can't even reach all of that. My I have 7,000 subscribers. When I post a new video, all of those 7,000 people do not get the new video. Only a few hundred do. And if it does well, maybe 1,000 or so. Rarely, if ever, does that number get big enough to even encompass all of the people who have subscribed to me. So the reality is the algorithm works against us. It does not work for us. I mean, YouTube can say all day long, if you want to reach more people, make better videos. Nonsense. I've got 400 videos, most of which are decent, some of which are really good, only one of which has ever reached more than 25,000 people. So I don't buy it. I think the only way we can do this is by doing it ourselves, by breaking out and by reaching out, not just for Father Fish, but for the other creators, the other channels that you really like. Promote them. Get out and promote them. Share them. Share them on your on your other platforms, and talk about them. Post links in, especially in other channels that have no one there who knows anything about Father Fish, and there are plenty of those. If you'll make the effort, I think we can break through and do this.
I think you can, but I mean, I think the overall consensus, Father Fish, is a lot of people found you from Lucas, from LRB. And then
Lucas that's right.
A couple people found you by researching, dirted substrate and the usual things that you might, come up on in either a Google or a YouTube search. So pretty much what I would have thought is how people found you.
Water Barn is saying we want to keep you in the underground.
But and then obviously you find out through other people. Where we all go places. We find out. People talk about people in chats or whatever. But I mean, I found you from Lucas. Same way.
Yeah, Lucas has about 50,000 subscribers. Right. So when he asked November 15th, a year ago, when he asked people to come check out my website, 1,000 people did. Out of his 40,000 subscribers, 1,000 people did. And I got, Lord, it was amazing. I got 500 subscribers within 24 hours. That's what put me, a couple of months later, that's what took me to 1,000. But here's what I've noticed. There have been 2 times since then when my channel has rocketed, hit a point, and then went precisely in the opposite direction, just as fast. So it got stopped. It got stopped, and I'm convinced the algorithm did that. The algorithm was not going to allow this channel to grow by simply sending it out to a broader spectrum of people. It doesn't work that way. You have to force it. It has to be done by individual effort. That's the only way to break out.
Yeah. So someone just mentioned you got a nice shout out on Ohio Fish Rescue last night, I believe, from Jack and Dan. And the other thing I was going to point out is you are one of the very few channels out there that pretty much, if you come back, more than once, you get a wrench, and that enables you to be able to drop your own link, and then, as Father Fish says, to support other people at the same time. Somebody that maybe you think is worthwhile that you can drop a link to.
Yeah,
And that
absolutely.
doesn't happen at most channels. I mean, there's usually just a couple moderators, and the moderators decide whose links are going to drop. And that's how it is. That's how it's done on most channels. If they drop other links at all, and it's whatever that person wants, for their channel. The moderators do whatever, that person wants done on their channel. But you're very giving in the sense that you give wrenches and you allow people to drop other links as well. And that's unusual. Thank you, Machu. You just got a super chat.
Yeah. Give me a timestamp of that, but there it is. I got it.
Yeah. But that's also unusual. Most people are not allowed to just go on and drop their own link or, another link, for a channel that they, love and want to promote. That's unusual. Xanadu, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yes, Jessie makes an interesting comment. She said it works both ways. She tried to spread as many people as she can. However, she only has 360 subs. That's really, I know that and I understand. That's really not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you or I or anyone else goes on another channel that does not have people from this channel, and 99% of the channels out there, let me explain it this way. If you, I've been studying the fish fam, just that part of the YouTube universe. The fish fam is, as near as I can tell, about 500,000 to 750,000 people worldwide. There are 2 or 3 channels that have reached virtually that entire population. They may be missing 10 or 20%, but it ain't much. They got virtually all of them. Everybody else, unless they're part of that group and are being sponsored by the people who are in that group, everybody else has a very tiny segment of the fish fam. It may be 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, maybe even 100,000, but it's never more than that. So what I'm suggesting is the likelihood is when you go to another channel involving somebody you really like, they probably do not have anybody on that channel who knows anything about the people who are involved on this channel and in this community. This channel is a community of about 10,000 people. And that 10,000 people are locked into each other pretty exclusively. It is not open. There are barriers that keep them locked in. We are all kept locked in to the single group that we belong to. We need to find ways to break out of this, and the way to do it is when you go to another channel and you like that other channel, and you find people there who you don't know who are not part of this one, promote channels from this group. Promote James. Promote um, promote Father Fish. Promote Jesse. Promote whoever you like. Promote Alex.
You got a lot going on in the chat. A lot of good stuff. I mean, a lot of good stuff, but I don't even know where to start.
Okay, I'm done that rant. Let's get into some of it. Go ahead.
Well, you know, James Green has a wonderful statement. He says, KG Tropicals mentioned that she was going to do a Dirty Tank, and several members mentioned at Father Fish. We should suggest Father Fish as a guest for that chat. That would be amazing. KG Tropicals.
There you go.
You know,
yep.
You know, and then you just got other people just making nice comments. Water Barn Tropicals has a nice comment below that at 716. There's just, I mean, you know, it's basically what you're saying though, is, you know, if everybody does support back and forth, but it's hard. It's hard. It is hard to break through some of those things. And Andy, yes, I have 2 Yorkies, and I see you've got a Yorkie and a Sheltie. Awesome. My sister used to breed Shelties. Sorry. But basically everybody's supporting you here, Father Fish. I think that's the general.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely.
I know. And I'm not at all complaining. I really am not. You know, I've been blessed with wonderful friends, with people who are committed and excited to be here. And I just cherish that, and I cherish every one of you. I sincerely do.
And but
I'll tell you what, here's the reality. You guys have made it possible for me to take this next step in my career in this industry and go up to Catoctin and begin working for the zoo up there. I would not do this if it weren't for what's happening here on YouTube, because I'd simply be going from one marginal thing to another. And I have no desire to do that. I really want to be able to reach out to a wider audience and begin to really have a serious impact on this hobby with the teachings of things I consider important.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, you know, you don't just preach it, you live it. I mean, you're not just telling people to set up a dirty tank. This is what you do, you know.
Oh, that's right.
You live it every day, you know.
Holly Gibbs calls it her dirty little secret. Nice.
That's cute, Holly. I like that, Holly.
You need to do that on a t-shirt. That's
absolutely
good.
You know. So anyway, we're, you know, yes, everybody is really just needs to support everybody. And somebody else mentioned in here that, you know, you do give everybody wrenches, and they could, you know, drop their own links and, you know, promote themselves a little bit more. And yes, they're welcome to. You know, there's, I don't know. It's just, you got a whole bunch of good stuff in here. You see it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You got a lot of support. But I think basically, like I said, you know, Lucas brought a lot of awareness to your channel. And then obviously if they Google dirty tanks or, you know, what, you know, some key phrases, your name's going to come up. And I think that's how people will continue to find you for a while. So we have run way over. Did you want to keep going?
I have noticed that. How are we doing?
I mean, I'm sure we're running into somebody else's stream, which is, I mean, it happens, and I mean, we can't all. There's only so many hours in a day to stream, so that's up to you. If you want to keep going, we'll keep going. If you want to keep looking at these questions.
Yeah, let's try to get down to the bottom here till we run out of gas a bit.
John Lex has been watching a deer feeding station in Maine. Well, I got to tell you, I don't know. Let me check the temperature here in Maine, because there's a.
Have I ever kept a gar? I have 2 gars.
12
in
degrees.
fact, I have two 14-inch gars that Chase caught and he brought them into me about a month ago. One of them lives in the 500-gallon tank out back. The other one is in a 200-gallon tank sitting out in front of my store. Not in the front of my store, but in front of my store is a 200-gallon tank with about a 14-inch gar in it. Not many people notice it, but some do. So yeah, I've got some gars. Lady Aquatics lives in Maryland, just north of KG in King George, Virginia. Nice.
King George, yeah. Oh, hi, Marco. Good to see you, and Tony P. I think Petroman, I think Joe asked somewhere back in there if you sell autosinkless at your store. You sell AutoCast?
Yeah, I do. I had a guy coming in looking for them today. I bought 20 of them. I could only find one. So I don't know what in the world happened. Maybe they didn't make it. Maybe they got sold. I don't know. But I'm going to have to get some more. Machu M. Thank you, Machu.
That's the second super chat. Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. Substrate product mixture and sell it. I do. I do.
Yes.
It is available on Get Gills. Also available on my channel, fatherfishaquariums.com. And I might add, Sierra, a German manufacturer, their rep was in just yesterday, and showed me a product they've been making for about 10 years that is exactly what I've been making for about 10 years that they have packaged commercially. So we're going to get it and try it out. And if I like it, I'll promote it. So that'll be kind of neat. But the thing I was excited about is that as he explained the rationale for the product, he said all of the things that I say about anaerobics. So here's a big international company that's selling products based on their anaerobic application.
So I'm going to read this, and then can everybody, I haven't looked to see how we're doing on likes, but if you haven't given Father Fish a thumbs up tonight, could you do it, please? Thank you, Lady Aquatics, for coming in the super chat. And then
come up right there. It is right there.
Tori says, Father Fish, Facebook page, do you have a Facebook page? If so, you should post some of your videos there. And if you could get and that would get more attention. And then lots of fish fan people on Facebook. So they're suggesting not just maybe put an ad on Facebook, but maybe posting some of your videos there.
We do live stream on Facebook, but the Facebook that it's on is it gets about I've got about 2,000 members on that channel, so it doesn't get any broader application than that. I've been doing it for about 3 months, and I have not noticed that there's been any result at all. I don't get views on it for whatever peculiar reason.
And then somebody else is suggesting Instagram. Can you give Machu M a wrench since they super chatted you twice?
Yeah, Thomas has been talking to me about Instagram.
Okay. And then he's been selling that product Machu for a long time. His supplement for starting the dirty tank.
Machu M and 10. Thank you, guys.
So you got Machu M?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Cool. So anyway, a lot of the same things you and I were already talking about. Facebook, Instagram, another way to get out there. But really, I think it is the algorithm in general, and and then when people research, they're going to find you that way too, if they're researching a specific question. I'm sure you come up.
Alex is streaming now, so let's go over. Everybody go over to Mom Alex and tell him how much you love him, and tell him you just came over from Father Fish. Love you all.
Oh,
Nice to
thank
be
you,
with you.
everyone. Thank you. Have a good night. Give Father Fish a thumbs up on the way over to Alex.
Take care. God bless you all. Let me see what we got. See if we can do a
Okay.
little tune here.
Right.
Oh, what have I got to do? Give me a second.
Okay.
Get down to it here. All right. Okay, we'll just
You just got another super chat, Father Fish, from Tori.
thank you, Tori, very much.
Tori.
Appreciate it. Okay, are we there?
I like that name. Your friend. The channel name. Your friend.
Yeah, that's sweet. It's,
That's cute. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Hope you have a great Saturday night, and I know you'll be in a lot of action.
Pull this one out. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Love you all. See you tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Take care for now. Go visit Alex.
And for anybody that doesn't know, that's Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. That's Alex.
Yeah, the link should be up somewhere. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, I can't do it, but maybe somebody threw it up. I'm not sure because I saw somebody ask who Alex was.
Right.